So you want to be a streamer. It's really easy. Just grab a webcam, a mic, and hit go live. If only it were that easy. Content creation can be really easy if you do a couple of things to set yourself up for success when you first start. I have been streaming for the past 4 years, and I want to help you get started on your streaming journey and teach you all the things I wish I knew before I got started. I can remember my very first stream sitting in the middle of my living room in a lawn chair, streaming from my console with this awkward purple light. It was a mess. So that's the reason I want to do this 8-part series where I kind of talk about the things I wish I knew, covering things from how to make your content unique to creating overlays, even collaboration. So by the end of this series, starting streaming will be easy as just hitting go live. So first up, defining your space. So just a quick little plug, I want to share a document that I made for you so that you can jot down all your brainstorm ideas that you get as we're going along in these episodes. If you head down to the description in my YouTube section, it'll be linked to the document and it's yours for each episode. There are tons of questions that I've given you to kind of follow along, jot down your ideas, so that it makes it easier for you to refer back to when you're done with this series and really want to get serious about starting this. All right, so first up, defining your space. So what do I mean by defining your space? So I'm referring not only to your physical space, so like here in my gaming office, but also your space in the digital world. So your social media, your brand, what you present to your community. And it's really important to kind of have that definition of what your space wants to be. So for example, I love cyberpunk. As you can tell, I love neon, I love RGB, I love all of the blues, pinks, purples, and that is the aesthetic that I try to capture in my physical space and with my branding. So if you look at any of my social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, it all kind of has the same motif where I have, I've done cyberpunk inspired photo shoots, there's neon glitches on my outros and things related to my content. People come up to me frequently and they see something neon or they see something cyberpunk and they immediately think, oh man, Reaper would love something like that. And so that's kind of how you begin to curate your aesthetic, is you just kind of have to start from what is it that you love. And I just happen to love cyberpunk stuff and I wanted that to be in my stream space. So I'm still working on things for myself as far as making my game room a little bit more neon city-like, and I have some things in the work. But the most important thing is that you don't have to spend a ton of money right out the gate getting your physical and digital space to look like that. There are simple things that you can do to kind of get started and kind of hint at the aesthetic that you're going for without having to break bank. So in one of the later episodes, we're going to get into definitively on how to make your overlays and how to create your branding colors and all of that nature. The purpose of this first episode is just to get you thinking about what you want your aesthetic to be. So we'll get into the nitty-gritty on how to make that vision come to life in one of the later episodes, but I really just want you to think about and spark in your brain what you want your community to connect with. And so like I said, cyberpunk for me, neon, glitch, purple, pink, blue, that's what they think of when you come to, I call this the vibe room, on my Discord channel and with my Twitch stuff. So you have to think about what it is you like and want your community to see when they come to your content, to your channel, whether it's you like anime, you like Star Wars, you like sports, whatever that is. Take a few minutes to kind of jot down those ideas of how you want your space to look. And then, like I said, we're going to get into it later on how you can make those changes into your gaming space and on your branding. Like I said, you don't have to spend a ton of money out the gate, and I'm going to give you some cool tips and tricks, like I said, in later episodes where we talk about how to make that happen. The reason that this is such an important first step is because you want to feel comfortable in your space and what you present to, your community, your followers. And if you're not comfortable in your own space, how is that going to help you connect with your audience? So, really important first step is, what do you want the world to see? So now that you've had some time to kind of think about, get those juices flowing about what you want your space, what you want your aesthetic to look like, now the next important part is defining what makes you unique. So you're watching this video, as I'm sure there will be hundreds of other people watching this video, and they all want to get started with content creation, and they're going through the same process. And you might get a little bit discouraged and say, man, what makes me unique? What is going to make somebody watch my content over somebody else's? And so the most important thing is that there's only one you. And I know it's cliche to say, but it's really the truth. There's only one you. You're the only one that can do what you can do. And you just have to find a way to market yourself, because once you figure out what makes your channel unique, what makes people gravitate towards you, it's really easy to find your community, to find your followers, and kind of create your own little corner of your content channel. So figuring out what it is about yourself that, people are going to come to your channel and say, hey, man, I can't find this anywhere else. I'm staying here at this channel. For myself, I love a lot of RPGs. I'm really RPG heavy, and so a lot of my channel focuses on the different type of BioWare RPGs. We do a lot of deep dive comic book discussions. I love Marvel, DC, all of the superhero stuff, and so we sometimes have dedicated streams where we just do a podcast style type of discussion about those things. I love video game lore. We love music, thirsting over video game men, and so these are the kind of things you're going to get with my channel. Yeah, there may be other people that talk about those things, but you have to be enthusiastic about what you love, and people are going to gravitate towards that. They see how excited you get when you talk about whatever your content matter is. They're going to gravitate towards your enthusiasm. And like I said, there's only one you, and so finding a way to market yourself is what's going to bring people into loving your content. So the reason that we want to spend this time talking about defining your uniqueness is because it's going to help you identify your niche, which is the next point that I want to talk about. So defining your niche, and what do I mean by that? So what makes you excited? What do you want to share with your audience? Like, why are people going to tune in every time you hit go live or you post a video? So you have to define what type of content creator / streamer do you want to be. Do you want to be high energy? Do you want to be cozy? Do you want to be a rage streamer? This kind of all adds to the vibe and aesthetic of your space. So, we've talked about, defining your space, defining what makes you unique. This is all helping you develop what your niche is going to be in your digital space. So it helps if you think about, do you just want to be a gamer? Do you want to be a crafter? Do you want to be a just chatter? Do you want to do vlogs, lifestyle, just be a DJ? Like, what is it that you want to do? And that's something only you can answer. And so definitely take this time to kind of think about what type of content do you want to put out into the world for everyone to see. There are multiple ways that you can do it. You can be podcast style, and you can do IRL, you can do reactions, you could be a speedrunner. Do you just want to do art streams? Those are all kind of things that you need to take into consideration. And the greatest thing is, if you want to do a little bit of everything, you can dub yourself as a variety streamer. And that's something that I do with my own channel. Yes, I do play a lot of video games, but sometimes we do have just chatting streams. We do cooking streams, baking streams, we do art streams, we do puzzle Lego building. And so you don't have to box yourself into one area, but make sure that when you are kind of being a variety, you are still making sure that you're still within your own little uniqueness, your own type of niche, while you're still being variety. So take some time to really think about what type of content creator / streamer that you want to be. And once you decide what type of streamer or content creator you want to be, fully lean into that style and market yourself. And so anytime I get a raid into my channel, I always do a welcome. Hey, I'm Drea, aka Reaper228. I'm a variety streamer, so that people know, oh, okay, when I come into her streams, she's not just only going to be playing video games, she's going to be doing a little bit of everything. So that kind of just sets you up for success, so that people don't kind of box you in their mind like you're only a Valorant streamer, or you're only a Call of Duty streamer. They recognize when you say, hey, well, this person's variety, so they may be playing Call of Duty today, and then they might be playing Infinity Nikki tomorrow. So that kind of helps if you've kind of thought about this ahead of time, so that you can market yourself as that way. So if you want to be the best potato cosplayer that speed runs art streams, do that. Market yourself as that, so that people know what they're getting into when they come to your channel. When you're passionate about whatever your subject matter is, that's going to translate very well to your audience, and you're going to find your community and other people that enjoy that content. And you'll even get some people who just might follow you just because of how enthusiastic you are about what you're doing. Like I said, defining your niche is really important up front, so that you can tell your community, you can tell your audience what it is they're going to be tuning in for each and every time that you go live. And it's not to say that you can't change what you want to do later on down the road, but this is just to give you kind of like a guideline, an outline, an overview of how you think you want your content to be set up. My whole goal with this series is to kind of help get you thinking about these things, so that it's just easy in the long run, so that you know what things to avoid where you're just kind of trying to figure it out as you go along. Well, there is an element of that, because I've only been doing this for 4 years, and there's still stuff that I'm learning each and every day. All right, so we've talked about a lot of things so far. We talked about defining your space, defining your niche, finding your uniqueness. Another thing that is really important to do in the first kind of startup phases is researching your space. And so what I mean by this is figuring out which platform you want to stream on or make content on. So for the purposes of the examples that I give, I stream on Twitch, so a lot of the things that I refer to is going to be related to Twitch. And so you have to figure out which platform you want to stream on, whether that's YouTube, TikTok, which plus or minus maybe going away, Twitter, Instagram, Kick, all of the other platforms that are out there. You have to figure out which platform works the best for the type of stuff that you want to do. Personally, Twitch works the best for me. I love the integration of it. I love all of the things about that platform, and so I predominantly stream on Twitch, and eventually we'll start branching out. But there are a lot of things that they have on their space that is really helpful in this research space. So when I say researching your space, that means I want you to take some time to go look at some of the content creators that you admire, you like watching yourself, to figure out what is it about their content that really speaks to you, and how you can translate that into your own content that you want to make. That's not to say copy them, because you'll never be able to copy what another creator has done, because people are very observant, especially if it's a well-known creator. They'll see the elements of what you're trying to do in your own channel if you don't put your own little twist on it. So don't copy, get inspiration from, but definitely take some time to go through the content creators that you like to watch, figure out what it is about their content that you like, and then I highly recommend that you use something on Twitch. They have tags. So for example, say you want to be a just chatting streamer, so just go on the website, you can look in the search bar and type in just chatting, and it'll bring up everyone who is just chatting at that moment. And so I highly encourage you to kind of click through the different content creators, even if it's somebody that you wouldn't watch, just to see what they're talking about, how they interact with their audience, how their overlays look, how their branding looks, and kind of find elements of everyone's that you watch to figure out what it is you want to bring to your own content. And that's something that I didn't do right away with my streaming journey, but it's something that I learned to do once I realized like, oh, hey, this is something that can be really fun and I could be really good at. And I then went back and started watching some content creators and learned about overlays and alerts and all these different things. And so that's something that I recommend that you do before you actually start streaming. And so utilize those tags to find the content that you're trying to put out, brainstorm those ideas, and figure out how you want that to fit into your own content. And this is a very good way for you to determine what you like, what you don't like, and what you want to incorporate in your own space. And like I said, it's really, really important. Do not copy verbatim what you see another streamer doing unless you have their explicit consent to do so. Like if it's something that's like seriously unique to them, like don't try and do it for your own channel unless they say, hey, yeah, cool, I don't care, you can replicate this for yourself. Try and find a way to be inspired by that idea and then come up with something that is, like I said, unique to you. Okay, so you just finished all of your research and you're like, man, I don't really see the type of content that I want to put out there, which is honestly not bad, because that means that there is a gap and you can fill it. So you could be the first of that category. You want to be a Lego farming potato salesman that streams IRL. Go for it. Be that content creator. It's really, really important, like I said, that feeds into your own uniqueness, because there are millions of streamers out there, millions of content creators, and you want people to gravitate to your channel. And so there has to be something unique that draws someone to your channel to wants to be a part of your content journey. And the reason I bring this up is that Twitch started out as just a gaming platform, but honestly it has expanded way beyond that. There's cosplay, there's art, there's cooking, baking, anything that you can imagine is now starting to show up on Twitch. And they've recently come up with these creator camps, where now there is a crafters, makers creator camp, where that includes all your people that do art and crafting and sewing and all of that you can join. And this is something that's come up in the last year or so. And so it's showing that if there is a gap, somebody has that power to go in and fill that gap, and now it's drawing a lot of attention to the point where there's needing to be new categories and new creator camps that need to be made because of the following that it's gotten. So don't be afraid to find something that nobody else is doing and make that your own content to fill in that gap of what you want to see. Because I'm sure there's somebody else out there that maybe wants to be a Lego potato farmer salesman or something. You get the idea. But all I can recommend for that is, like I said, if you don't see what you're trying to put out there, be the best at that content so that you could be the first one that starts that content, and people will be like, oh, I remember when X, Y, and Z first started out, and now there's 300 of these Lego potato salesmen. I don't know why I keep saying Lego potato cosplay salesman person, but you get the idea. So find that gap. Be the best at whatever content that is if you don't see it being marketed elsewhere, and create that need where people are going to keep coming back for those type of streams. All right, so we talked about a lot in this first episode. This episode is relatively short because I didn't want to overwhelm you with a lot of information right out the gate, but this is laying the foundation for all of the other stuff that we're going to talk about in the rest of the episode. So really, really encourage you to use that document that I made for you, where you brainstorm your ideas of what you want your space to look like, what you want your brand to look like, what type of streamer you want to be, and really digging deep to answer that question of what makes me unique, what is going to make people gravitate towards my channel and want to hit that follow button. So I hope you enjoyed this introductory episode. We're going to get a lot more in detail with how to make this really happen over the next couple of episodes. So let me know in the comment section what your plan is to get started. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow this channel so that I can continue to do more videos like this. And also let me know in the comments what type of streamer you want to be. So I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next episode. Reaper out.